What up, world? It's your boy, Steven, back at it again for Not For Nothing podcast while we are everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Joining me here today, a returning guest, my boy, Harry. Today, we're going to be talking about, NFL, NBA, fashion trends, and what's happening in today's society. Stay tuned, be ready, be entertained, and just see this simple dialogue between two growing friends. How you doing,
I
bro?
can't see you. I'm doing great.
You
How
can
you
see
doing?
me. I can see you.
I know you can see me.
Oh, yes, of course, of course. So boom. Let's start it off. How do you feel about the NFL draft and like how certain teams are pulling, releasing, adding, and just overall trying to be contenders?
To be honest, I didn't even keep up with the draft. I usually wait to the trades and free agent signings, team schedule release to actually
Okay.
look into the upcoming NFL season.
Okay. So then so far, since it avoiding the draft ensemble.
Current NFL team that got my attention,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go with the reigning champions, Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah,
Part of me is gonna ask you why, but if you're looking at this, fuck the Eagles. Low key, excuse me. Respectfully, I dislike the Eagles. Not as much as I dislike the Cowboys, but I hate the Eagles. But continue, bro. I'm sorry.
wait. If we're being honest, I don't like the Eagles neither.
So then,
It's just
okay. Why? What's up?
they have the team. It's
I
they're
feel
the team to beat.
okay. They are the team to beat, but I feel like they lost their nucleus, right? Because most importantly, it starts off with the line. Yeah, cool. Yeah, granted, Saquon got a ring. Sick, dope. Everybody knows what they're bringing to the table now. So now, are they able to recreate those ensembles, recreate those moments? Not recreate them, but like be innovative enough to trick any NFL teams, or like, hey, we're just gonna will ourselves through, right? Because like now we're switching into like dynamic quarterbacks now. Like, okay, can this quarterback run out the pocket and just still sling it, or be able to? All right, no one's open. I'm gonna take off. Like, which certain teams that really like caught your eye now since for the upcoming playoffs? Because you already know my team is Green Bay, and everybody don't want to see us in the playoffs. But what teams are like sticking out to you right now?
I think you already know my answer to this one.
Probably just lay
It's
it
the
out.
GOAT
Just say it.
in Cincinnati. Shall I say his name?
Okay, Mr. Barrow. All right, go for it. Again,
Yes,
when we
sir.
talked offline, I just say like, hey, he's a nice quarterback. Not taking nothing out of him, but he's just another like Josh
It's not
Allen,
nice.
just like just there in that
He's
category.
great.
Sure,
He's
we
great.
could agree to that delusion, but that's okay though. That's okay. But why?
There's actually a few teams.
Wait, go ahead.
There's actually a few teams. There's actually a few teams.
What's up?
It's at least 4 to 5 teams I feel got a legitimate chance.
Mm-hmm.
As I stated earlier, I think the Eagles going back to back. So obviously they're one, Cincinnati, of course, Detroit.
That okay? I got a little pushback, but go ahead. Keep on going. I ain't gonna interrupt
You
you.
got to push back on Detroit.
Yeah,
Insane.
yeah. They lost some key figures, and just like I don't see you.
But
I don't see you.
they have the potent offense and added a few players on defense where it needed to be added.
Okay. You know what?
Detroit,
You know they do have a potent offense.
this
They changed the whole philosophy. They became a legit contender. I give you that, but they're not superseding my team. They're not. Again, we
this is
young.
gonna
We're strong. Yeah, we gave up Jair. You know what? Jair, great cornerback, very injury prone. But when he's not injured and when he's healthy, really solid deep. But then again, we fulfill those blocks that we needed. The front seven. That's it. But you know what? I ain't gonna interrupt you again
man.
because it's just like it triggers me knowing that you're saying teams that's like around my area. Even though I'm a New Yorker, Green Bay fan for 32 years. Fuck is you talking about? But I'm just like my team is gonna be the Super Bowl champions. I don't care. Like now I'm not delusion because I'll give credit where credit's due because there's certain teams I'm like, all right, the Commanders, the Browns since they got Shador. I'm like, I gotta give Detroit. I gotta give Detroit. But
I don't like that. I do not like that.
why?
I'm not a fan
Eagles,
of
I
Shador.
don't
I'm not a fan of Shador.
I'm not giving no Eagle fans no caution of error. Nothing. And it's just like, whatever. Fuck that. Jesus, wow, I'm dropping F bombs. I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue though.
And then obviously the Ravens, as much as it hurts me to say that, I hate
We had son, Yeah, you just bringing things up, and I'm just remembering all of our conversations regarding, like, Lamar, the Ravens. They're just a
Yes.
seasoned team, but when the playoffs come in, they choke all the time. Where Lamar, hey, phenomenal quarterback, phenomenal athlete, but just can't get over the hump. What? Speaking of the Ravens, what you think they would probably need just so they could just bump a little forward? They got Derrick Henry, and I'm just like, all right, you got a phenomenal running back. Sick, respectable. Yeah, both are running machines.
They
Who
need
who else do you think they need?
they need Lamar to be Lamar. That's all they need. They need Lamar to play Lamar Jackson's game. Eagles played their game, which is run, run, and when it's time to pass, we're passing. The Ravens, you see every season, all season long, Lamar
Mm-hmm.
Jackson being Lamar Jackson. And what's
Mm-hmm.
that? That's Lamar with his feet. That's the running game and then the defense.
You're right. You're right. I could give you
And
that.
when we
I
get
could
to
give
the
you that.
playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
when we get to the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going up against, let's say again, Patrick Mahomes, he tries to beat Mahomes at Mahomes' game with the arm. Less running.
Yeah.
That's not Lamar Jackson football. He tries to outbeat the quarterback at their style of game. It's not gonna work.
You're I cannot disagree with you in that aspect, because when I'm just recalling previous playoffs where, all right, Lamar, you got nobody open. Why are you not running? You can run
Why
easy
you're not
7
running?
yards. Why you not taking it off? Because he doesn't want to be known as just a running quarterback. He wants to know, like,
As
I'm an
just a running
overall.
quarterback. And then
Yeah.
he's also going up against Patrick Mahomes, who most people view as the best, second to Brady. And then when he's going up against Josh Allen, you can see
Out.
the difference. You can see the difference. When he's playing Josh Allen, he's using
Uh-huh.
his feet. When he's
Yes.
playing Patrick Mahomes, he's trying to use his arm.
Yes.
And he stays in the pocket longer with the ball. It's not going to
Yes.
work.
Okay. Well, Mahomes is the number 3. I'm just gonna interject there. He's number 3. I could number 1. Sure, Tom Brady. Number 2, it gotta be. You can't over supersede Joe Montana. And I'm just like, hey. Ooh, was I young enough? You're smoking dope as in, like,
It's
you
Tom
like to
Brady.
dance. Tom Brady's number 1. I could give you that. Tom
You know
Brady is
who's
number
number
1.
two?
Huh?
You know
Joe Montana. Joe Montana. Number 3
stop.
is Patrick Mahomes.
It's
Joe
Aaron
Montana has 6
Rodgers.
rings. You're not going to supersede that. You're not going to. Yeah, sure. Patrick Mahomes is a beast. I would give him that. But he's clearly number 3. He's not number 2. Not number 2. Until he supersedes Joe Montana.
He's not number
Then
four.
he's number 3. What are you talking about? Joe Montana number. All right. Who's over Joe Montana?
I'm talking about Patty. Patty's 5.
Okay. Then who's. Now you're making me argue for
You know
Patrick
my
Mahomes.
list.
He's on, like, when you know what? That's your list. You know what? Because you're trying to trigger me and get me going. Yo, listen. Offline, me and this guy go back and forth. Just playful banter, but, like, I grew up with this guy since we were little, like kindergarten little. So, trying to trigger me. I see that. I'm trying to stay professional here,
We
but
should remember. Wait. Remember waiting to get into Fanatic Fest.
yeah.
The question I asked you is football really, obviously. Give me your top 5 wide receivers now. And you
Ah,
listed Devontae Adams number 1.
yes, Devontae Adams number 1, 110%. His releases
That's
since.
insane.
Excuse me. All right, hold on. I will give to the football technicality, right? His release game, his quick feet, his hand-eye coordination. But of course, everyone will argue that's because he had Aaron Rodgers. That's because he was able to do all those tricks in Green Bay. But he was able to do that in Raiders. He was able to do that partially in the Jets, but the Jets had a shitty line. So I was like, okay, I could see that because the quarterback needs time to throw. I would say number 2, it was JJ, but I'll move JJ at 3. I'll say Jamar Chase. I'll say he's the number 2.
Came to your senses. You came to your
No,
senses.
well, it was a tough gimme. It was a tough gimme because I was just like, let me see what he did. Let me see what he did, and I'm just like, JJ, he's solid. Jefferson, he's solid, 100%. And I know, I'm like, if I need a 1B, definitely know I'll throw him at the 1B. But if I would say, if I had to put, like, Devontae Adams on one side, I would go with Jamar Chase on the other side. Just because I'm like, all right, they doubling him, but I know I got a dog on the other side that's just going to be more physicality over that. Behind JJ at number 3, I would say pure athletic, It's a hard toss between AJ Brown and DK because I'm like, I need someone to be super aggressive. I'll say DK
So you
at
switched
number.
up.
Yep. Hey, I took
So
my
you
time because
switched
I
up.
look when you asked me from then you when you asked me that question, I like had to really like, all right, let me sit back, let me see, because obviously certain individuals are aging out. Number 5 is Mike Evans because I'm like he's always sheer consistent. Consistency, I'm like good old reliable.
So somebody, so,
Good over
somebody
reliable. So
fell out
I
of your
like I
top
took my
5.
time. I took my time. I looked at the videos. I wrote the pros and cons, and that's my top 5. Devontae Adams,
Somebody fell out of your top 5.
Jamar Chase, JJ, Jefferson, if people want to be technical, DK, and Mike Evans. Like I would take AJ Brown, but I'm like DK. I'm like ain't nobody big, muscular, moving that fast, stopping a touchdown from across the other field. But even though that was an angle pursuit, I'm just saying. But what? But
You know
since
who's
from then,
who's missing
who's your top 5?
from
Who's your top 5?
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson,
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown.
Okay. Go ahead, AJ Brown. Who's your 5th?
5, very tough.
So while you thinking of number
I'm gonna
5,
have to go with. Yeah, I have to. Damn.
yeah, it's difficult because you gotta like I
tough.
gotta see who's consistent, who's healthy, who's coming off the line. Because if you would have asked me 3 years prior, 5 years prior, you already know who are the consistent ones that's always been there. But obviously they're kind of aging out, so young blood's got to be coming in. So just throw in the young blood.
Throwing the young blood. Okay, let's go with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
That's my
I'm not mad at that. That one, that number 5, I'm not mad at that. But Lamb, no, I have to fundamentally disagree
you're
with
bugging.
Lamb. I had to disagree with Lamb. I'm sorry.
You're bugging.
Cowboys, they suck. The Bears, they suck. Gotta throw it in there. But nope. But
Disregard the team.
Okay, disregarding the team, I'll throw CeeDee Lamb number 8.
That's wild.
That's not wild. That's a fair assessment. Because when they needed him to be the man, he wasn't the man. He was locked up. Trust me, I seen the video. I made sure I watched. I stood by it. I made sure I engaged. I made sure I looked, and I'm like, all right, let me see. You got covered. Okay, got covered here, locked down here. Yeah, you great. But I'm just saying, in a matter of I need you, will you produce, right? And since now, like the receivers that we idolize, the receivers that we try to like, mimic the game and all that stuff, not mimic idolize the game and study them from the rookies and the vets. How do you think their impact would produce for a team? Like you see, like Aaron Rodgers now, he's with the Steelers. Do you think his philosophy will help promote good receivers?
I believe so. And then he's paired up right now with one of the greatest coaches of all time, so that helps.
Yes, he's one of the greatest coaches, but he doesn't play the nonsense of what Aaron Rodgers bring to the table. Respectfully.
That's why I think they'll balance each other out, and he's a great fit.
How do you think about Russell Wilson in the Giants? Like, since he did pretty decent with the Steelers, and I'm like, I'm thinking they're gonna keep him, and they just like, yeah, we're gonna give you to the Giants. Do you think that was a valid trade?
This is gonna surprise a lot of people.
What's up?
This is gonna surprise a lot of people, but the Giants are a team that I'm actually interested in watching this year.
Because of Malik Neighbors? Yeah. Let's be honest. Because of Malik Neighbors, that's okay.
Jackson Dart, rookie quarterback.
Listen, I was surprised
and I believe
that
they
the
should
Giants
start
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston should be the start.
No way.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Before I'm gonna ask you to unpack that thought and why, I shared this with my boy Miggs, and I was like, I'm really genuinely surprised that the Giants didn't pull in Shador and allow the Browns to take in Shador. So, which I'm just like, they send him out there because the Browns is the team that usually crucifies quarterbacks. Like, yeah, we're sending you to a team that's gonna potentially kill your career. But if he was able to flip that team around with the proper coaching, because he's not coached under his dad, he's coachable. I was just genuinely surprised that New York didn't really invest in him. But them pulling Russell Wilson. Dart, I still got to see a little bit more proof on that end. But I'm going to see them play against the Packers on the 16th. So, hey, you know what? You better make my team lose because we're coming for you. We're gonna give you belt to back.
Damn.
belt to
I
back.
asked.
That's
That's
it.
kind of like
Well, because I can't. That's wild, and I'm not trying to allude to that. I'm just trying not to, say too much profane things. But that's crazy work. That's crazy. But Winston, I need to know why. I know he's an entertainer because like all players say nothing but great things about him. He's a really good team player. I just want to know why. Why you think he should start?
he's a likable guy. He's a humble man. He's somebody that is going to give you the 110%
Yeah.
without needing a commitment.
Mm.
And he lifts everyone up. And that's somebody that you want to lead you. And then there's the
Dang.
Giants. You're
That's
rebuilding. Why not give him a chance?
yeah. He be carrying certain wins and he like surprising everybody. Like that's a W. That's, but
he
dang. So
uplifts. He
now,
uplifts everyone around him.
no, I get it. I get it. You need that person like yo. Any adversity, we here. I got you. We stand together. We die together. I'm right here. And that's the part where I'm like, yeah, I do know that having teams and camaraderie and the brotherhood is important. Like iron sharpens iron. One that keeps you accountable of your actions. Whether it gets tough, hey brother, we're to the end. To the end, we here. And that's the part where it's just like that's what a lot of male communities probably would need. Like, yo, I hold you accountable. You hold me accountable. Let's get this dub. And that's the part, like, yeah,
Exactly.
I could see that. You know what? I agree with you. I could see that. I could see that. So now, closing up on the NFL, how do you feel about the NBA? Like, now the certain transitions is like, Klay Thompson's coming back. Damian Lillard went right back to the Blazers. Giannis playing, romanticizing with the Knicks, allegedly. Because since he got an apartment in New York City, a nice little, I'm like, what you trying to tell us, bro? What you trying to say? But like, what are your thoughts initially on the NBA season concluding and upcoming?
All right. First and foremost, as always, fuck New York. Fuck New York.
You know what? That's crazy.
Uh,
That's even me saying a Green Bay Packer fan that's born and raised in the Bronx, and you born and raised in the Bronx as well, saying F New York. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, you know what though? FYI, people, this man is a Boston Red Sox fan. Just so you know, so you can flood the comments, let him know, like, yo, that's wild. That's You're a troll monster. You're a troll, dead ass. Oh man, but like, what's your initial thoughts though on the NBA? Like, who do you think will be like upcoming title, contender?
the new season, basically, OKC is going to be the team to beat coming off the
Yeah,
championship
yeah,
run.
yeah.
And then you got all these teams in limbo with ACL injuries to their star players, Boston being the main, Tatum out for the years.
Mm-hmm. Herbert,
Herbert, Halliburton,
Halliburton, yeah. Yo, Halliburton,
respect my
Herbert,
man,
Hamburger, all them beaches.
respect my man.
Listen.
Yeah,
No, that's not a
Halliburton.
chokeable offense. Uh-huh.
It's tough. It's tough. It's gonna obviously clear the way for the East.
Yeah.
New York should, even though I don't think they could make it up to the finals. I have Orlando coming out of the East.
You're the first to say that. You're the first I ever heard someone say that. I'm gonna pin that. You're the
Serious?
first. Orlando? Really? Oh,
Yes.
I got. We're gonna hold those sub thoughts because I'm gonna push on the Knicks and I'm gonna push on Orlando. But keep on going though.
And then in the West, as I stated, OKC is going to be a team to beat. I'm a Laker fan. LeBron.
You know what?
I'm not too
I could
sure
dive
what's
into
going
that.
on
So
over there.
what do you think about the Lakers now? Since now the West is becoming more of a hot zone, so to speak, because now they got the Blazers coming back with Holiday, Lillard, like vets that are coming back, like some that already experienced winning the gold, and others like hunger for it. And Houston taking in Westbrook and Durant, and we were there when Durant got traded in Fanatics, and I was just like, what? That's crazy work. And that's the part where certain things is unraveling now, like the Mavericks coming back, Klay Thompson coming off of an injury, rehabilitating, and now you got a little mamacita Meg the Stallion. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna drop 12. I'm gonna drop 12 points. I'm just joking. I don't know, Clay. I don't know. It's kind of gift and a curse. You're playing hot potato. Other than that, what do you think the Lakers should do, knowing that they have a battle ahead of them? even before the season started.
I would just play Laker
But with
basketball.
potentiality, excuse me,
You
with
have
potentials. With potentials.
you have two of the NBA's greatest, LeBron and Luka, leading, and everybody just needs to play their role and follow their lead.
Okay. Okay. In what way? Like you think LeBron should just be able to like chill back and allow Luca to do his job and facilitate or be the facilitator to allow the team to score? Because he is getting up in age, obviously. In sports term, he's probably the old man in the group, still cooking young bucks. But now young bucks are coming in like I'm
Couldn't
going to
tell.
try to be. You couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell. Couldn't tell.
The amount of money he invests in his body. He's like, hey, I'm taking a page off of Tom Brady. I am investing. But okay, so coming back to the East side, because like I just went on a long rant tangent on the West. You saying the Knicks should, even though they have a new coach, because obviously
Yeah.
getting a new coach, philosophy change, like who's going to be really the scorer of the team. Potentially Giannis flirting with New York allegedly, because those were the talks. Do you think New York would have a chance with or without Giannis, or just they should take advantage on how like certain teams in the playoff have a deep man roster? What are your thoughts?
As I stated, the Knicks could.
Mm-hmm.
They should. Most teams, I'm pretty sure most people expect the Knicks to come out of the East next year.
Yeah.
With what's going on down with the injuries, Boston not being in the way anymore, and then
Mm-hmm.
Indiana was their roadblock 2 seasons
Mm-hmm.
in a row. Cleveland up and down, Atlanta injuries. So as I said, they should, but I don't think they're going to because I have Orlando coming out of the East with acquisitions of adding Desmond Bain from Memphis to your lineup, and then you have the great young core of Paolo and Franz Wagner. So it's going to be scary. And then you have Detroit, who's on the rise with their young point guard superstar, Cade Cunningham, and the pieces that they added in the offseason. And then you can't forget about Miami, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. But those are teams that the Knicks should beat and everyone expects to beat. But I think it's going to be
Should.
another New York storyline
That's
where
crazy
they come up
work that you're
short again.
doing that. Coming up short, that's wild. But I think now that they learned from their mistakes, because like beforehand they got bumped in the first round. Now they made it to like the second round. Each time they get into the playoffs, they're like moving forward bit by bit. But I would say Miami, I'm not so inclined to see them as a threat because they're more of like either we're free flow or more of an individualistic team. Now that was a tongue tie. Wow, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I could see like Cleveland being the dark horse. The Knicks should have the opportunity to potentially bulldoze the East, but coming back to a playoffs is a difficult feat itself. Even in the NFL, where it's like, hey, it's less teams, but no team don't like have the opportunity to touch the playoffs unless like you're those teams that are sheerly consistency. Like, yeah, okay, we gonna expect them to get there, but we got to see the fruits of their labor. But Orlando, you're the first to say that because I really didn't pay mind to Orlando. I'm like, oh, it's the Magic, they're trash and all that stuff. Like, put them in the category of like the Charlotte Hornets. So they're just like, all right, like I'm not worried about you. But
That's
now,
disrespectful.
how does
That's
this?
disrespectful.
That's true. That's true. How can I be wrong? For how can I be wrong? Like if you see a team that's like right or like Chicago Bulls, are we really looking at them right now? So
No.
not wrong, but now I'm just like I'm excited because I'm like football is almost coming back. I'm looking forward to like basketball, just seeing how like certain puzzle pieces are added, subtracted, see what lessons I've learned and what wisdom can be implemented from there. So I'm just like, I bet. Cooper Flag, when I saw Bronny lock him up, and I'm just like, ooh. But I would say Bronny has a little bit experience playing in the professional realm now. He's just like, yo, I've had taste in the heightened level. I know what to do. And he's just getting his feet wet in there. And I'm just like, Summer League is looking fire though. Like I'm seeing certain Asian persuasions looking like facilitators. Like, oh, baby Yao Ming is coming back. Okay, seeing the Rockies, I'm like, yo, don't sleep on them. I was like, yo, y'all do need a big man. And I was like, y'all got Westbrook, KD, and then a young big man is like, oh, I'm a facilitate that. I got you. Hey, I'm just excited, and I feel like more things are just gonna just come about. Any thoughts that you want to bring up?
No, I just have one more thing to say on the NBA.
What's up?
Paulo Banchero, MVP next season.
You know what? I respect that. I'm not even gonna push back. I'm not even gonna say no. I'm not gonna. You know what? I can see the dog in him. I see that he wants it. I see that he wants. No, like I've seen his highlights. I was just like, yeah. It's like one of those players. One of those players that's like, your team is trash, but I know you're not trash. I know you're not trash. That's the part of just like, yo, I'm gonna put the team on my back. Watch. But besides him putting his team on his back, let's transition into like the ideal of like now the trends of fashion. Like people are now starting wearing more of minimalistic colors or neutral colors or oversized hoodies and oversized jeans, trying to like tailor a little bit of like the past, like early '90s, all that stuff. So, like, what do you think like has influenced the fashion realm right now?
The celebrities, going back to NBA players as well.
Okay.
People like what they see. They like how most stylists are able to put shit together, and it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all for it. I like bringing back the old baggy jeans, big shirts, big sweaters. It's dope. That's dope as fuck. And as I stated in the last time we did the podcast, fashion is form of expression. It's art.
Mm-hmm.
You can mix and match colors and shit look good. So why not? What's that saying
You?
on the field? You look good, you feel good, you play good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I can see
exactly,
that. I can see
why
that.
not
Yeah.
look good and feel good everywhere?
You're right. You're right. But then if I'm trying to take a quick run to Walmart, I'm gonna dress comfortable and just get what I need. But I don't disagree with you. But like lately I've seen a little bit more of, if you probably seen it on social media, an upscaling of more of urban fashion trends and combining of Christian beliefs. Like, oh, like, they put like a Bible verse on the side of jeans or on a knitted sweater. Like I'm starting to see more
Yeah,
and more and more fusions of that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see that you're trying to blend with the times and seeing like now people are going for like as you say, like over the baggy look, baggy jeans or baggy crop tops for those who wants to try or to tailor or be a trailblazer on fashion trends. And even now, like even for us, where we just like, all right, we'll make our own style. We will get to go into things like the fit that you wore for Fan Fanatics, where you just kept it simple. And I'm like, huh, that's a completely 180. Where he went from like tech suits and E shorts. Well, you still wear those. Like, let me not push too much back. But like seeing the growth into that pendulum swinging, I'm just like, oh, okay, I see that. Now I'm like transitioning from me going from super streetwear to more of like minimalistic look, being more of a grown man look. Because my wife's like, quit dressing like a teenager. You're not a teen. I'm like, what do you mean? You're always wearing sweatsuits. I'm like, I want to
it's
be comfortable.
comfortable.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
comfortable. But you're just like, but you're a grown man. You can be
It's
comfortable, but let people know you are a man. And I was just like, I don't understand that. Every time I walk into the room, I am a man. But now I understood perception is people's realities and all that stuff. So I'm like, I got you. I got you. Now seeing now, because you will go with me on this one, like the UK doing tech suits now and stuff. Like, oh, I put on the tech suits and stuff and wearing the shiesties and all that good stuff. Do you think New York is one of the crown jewels of pushing fashion forward?
definitely.
How so?
We just do. We just the swaggiest of them all. Especially the Bronx. You gotta shout out the Bronx, bro.
BX, I
Especially the
like
Bronx.
that. Okay, okay.
Nobody
Yes,
do it better.
yes.
That's my take on that. Nobody do it better. That's it.
Okay.
That's not even a discussion.
The Bronx. Well, you know what? As a Bronx native, yes. Like, we definitely, if you see the Bronx, you probably will see the Butters, the Tims, beef and broccoli. You'll see us. That's us. We the ensemble of that. But I can give flowers to Harlem because that's also like another fashion trend.
That was gonna be my next one.
The next one,
That was
I
the next
bet.
one. Yeah, definitely Harlem. But then fuck everything else.
So the Bronx and Harlem, everything else is just like not do too much,
Everything else is
right?
just copycats.
Okay. I respect that. I could respect that. I'm just like seeing how like, and when New York Fashion Week comes in and seeing on social media those who like, oh, I just did a little simple runway or amateur runway. I'm like pushing clothes brands. I'm seeing this. in which it's a beautiful thing, and I genuinely love it. But now that I'm starting to see like some people try to push the envelope of fashion, trying to show them like unique chic, for me
Funny
now, I'm
thing
like, I
you
like
brought
the
up.
what's up?
Funny thing you brought up. New York Fashion Week. I actually worked Fashion Week a few years back. I
Okay.
did the show for Tiana Taylor.
Ooh, how was that
Yeah, pretty dope,
experience?
pretty dope.
What
It was
did you
fire, it was
like?
fire.
What you learned and seeing the ensembles of that, like being a part of that New York Fashion Week?
Everything is just so fucking hectic and fast, and shit got to be done like that.
Mm,
It
mm.
was just too much going on at the same time, but it was a dope experience. Seeing the trends, seeing the clothing, the meeting the famous. Fun fact: I didn't have anything for her to sign, and signed the dollar bill.
I
I ended up
like
using
that.
it though.
It's like what? That makes no sense. Like, hey, you know what? Sign this dollar bill, bro. And I was like, yo, I'm thirsty. Let me get a bottle of water. Yo, let me get that.
No, I forgot all about it and used it, and then remembered obviously later on.
Damn, that's wild. See, that's kind of pretty dope. Like having those opportunities and seeing the ins and outs, knowing that's like it gets crazy. You got only a couple of seconds. What's going on? Who's there? Who's valid? Who's not? Whose seats needs to be assigned? Do you think when New York Fashion Week comes in and like people around the world that comes in to either be part of the runway or just see the upcoming trends just so they can like, okay, I like that style, but I'm gonna flip it on my own. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Do you think the Fashion Week is a reflection of today's society and like how we think of things, or do you think that
Not
like
really, no.
we're just trying to be different and be into the new stuff?
Yeah, I think it's more of being different than being, as you said, a trend to society. I think it's more of people wanting to be more expressive, sort of say.
Okay. Okay. But I feel like now, like I would say in today's time now, like people tend to be copies of another. Because when we were younger, being different was unique. Like, all right, boom, you doing your own thing. All right, cool. Like you got your emos, your goths, you got your streetwear, the like no, I would not say nerds, but like people that just like comfortable in khaki, and I'm just like, all right, see everyone in a different, unique spectrum. Now, like everyone is copying everyone's style. Like, okay, I'm gonna wear these cross hoodies. I'm gonna wear these like certain oversized sweatsuits or like boots or jeans. Like trying to do the TikTok trends of I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna do that instead of just like I'm following my individualistic. Wow, tongue tied. Say the word, Harry. Individualistic. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I got it.
Tongue tie. Individualistic.
Jesus Christ.
Individualistic.
Individualistic. I saw it, papi. Yo soy dominicano, ya tú sabes. Mi lengua está grande. Whoa, chill, pause.
Hey, yo, pause.
But now just seeing that and trying to be different, I could see that. And like skinny jeans, like when I saw skinny jeans colored, remember middle school colored skinny jeans, that was the vibe. And now they're making a comeback, and I'm just like, no fucking way. Oh my god, I wore those, but I ain't gonna lie, I was fly as fuck. I had
Hey, I
orange.
was voted best dressed in those things. Remember?
Yes, yes, yes,
Our
yes. You were,
yearbook, I
you
was
were, you
voted
were
best dressed.
fly guy in
And
Puerto
that was the
Rican.
style back then. It was the fucking skinny jeans and
And the plaid
oh god, I
shirts,
look back at them fucking it's
the
horrible.
Hollister wear. Like when you wore a Hollister, you was the man. Abercrombie and Fitch, you was the man. Before we end up knowing the racial side of Abercrombie and Fitch, it's just like, oh yeah, you guys are wildin'. But besides that, it's just like seeing how the ball is rolling, and some of our elders is like, oh, I used to wear that back in my day. And now y'all making it popularized. Y'all don't know how to
Exactly.
rock that. And they just like, bro, daddy chill. Like, relax.
And now shit is coming back. You got Ed Hardy coming
Yeah.
back,
Now,
True Religion.
Jesus. Yeah. It's
Uh,
just like, yo, you wearing BB belts? I'm like, holy, what are we? 210? What's going on?
it's fire.
Oh my god! But other than that, that's like pretty dope. But speaking of fashion trends and expression, like how do you see in like in today's society now, like moving on like into world issues and stuff like men's mental health or like finding safe space? Like, what do you think should be in a situation that the community can tackle or get behind?
Let me hear your thoughts on it first, and I'll pick off.
Well, see, like for recent time, like for transparency, like June was Men's Mental Health Month, right? Even though it's like Pride Month and Father's Day and all that stuff. And when I told the missus, I was like, "Yo, Father's Day is like the 23rd favorite holiday. There's Christmas and then Mama's Day, your Mother's Day. There's Baby Jesus and then your mama." I like made a joke and just took that, but she's like, so like fathers are just important, but I'm like, that's little that like like not that fathers aren't important. We are essential. It was just like men's mental health. It's like in 6 months time now, just like almost a 500,000 men just like self-deleted, and it's becoming more and more apparent. Like the self-deletion rate is increasing, and we went from like like a steady 78.4 now to like almost like a 80% curve, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. It's probably still around the 78 percentile. But I'm just seeing those spaces, and I'm just like, is there a safe space which I participated in men's group with my boy Ivan. He just like Men's Matter, if I'm not mistaken. Like he runs a group, a free group therapy where like men are allowed to be vulnerable or like share their initial thoughts. I will pin his social and his organization down in the description below. But I'm just like, those are one of them where we're not allowed to have those safe space. And even then, like for men are not even taking into marriage because they feel like that's a detriment to them, even though like it's a beautiful thing where you're making a commitment to a person. They're just like, this is more of a business thing. This is a more of a liability to me than it is to her. Because then if she decides to leave, it's more tailored to her than it is to me, or like, vice versa, 50-50. And just seeing those thoughts, and I'm just like, I think the community should empower men just as like we empower women, and just to ensure their safety. But that's just my initial thoughts, because even recently of this year, I've seen certain friends of mine ending up having their lives ruined and not being able to mentally grasp their reality to climb themselves back out of their hole. And obviously, you already know what's the end result once they feel like life has given up on them. So that's like one of the examples that I initially would think of. What are your thoughts after hearing that?
I think it's more of men being afraid and to open up. I feel like as men, we put a wall up and we try to be big and protective
Mhm.
of everything else around us. That we don't want to give off that type of like emotion of
Vulnerability.
being weak.
Ah, yes, yes. I could see
And
that, but do you think if we don't express ourselves, like for example, like obviously there's a time and place for a man to be emotional. There's a time and place where the people around you want you to be stoic, right? And that in which it's a good and bad thing at times. But do you think is it fair for a man to be vulnerable just so when he reveals his excuse me, I'm not saying all personnel, but some people take information of what a man's feeling and throw it right back at them, like as if it's a weapon. Like, oh,
mhm.
that's why, yeah, pop. Like for example, like, oh, your daddy didn't love you, that's why he left you, just to make you feel emotionally hurt. Whereas, like, wow, I just shared something personal to you, and you use that as a weapon towards
And you
me,
just yeah,
and you just
I
automatically
see that.
build up
I
that
see that.
wall. You're just like, nah, I'm not
So
dealing
then
with
it's
you.
like, why would I say something the next time
Yeah.
if I can just hold it to myself, deal with it within, and not have to deal with more than what I'm already dealing with?
hmm But then that leads to
And
health
then it's
problems, because
more,
then we end up getting a heart attack. So then it's just like, all right, we taking it all in and internalize, and then it's just like, I'm attacking myself, then attacking that. Or like where men whine and complain, even though we are allowed to whine and complain, people don't take us seriously when we whine and complain, because then it's just like, all right, you whine, you're moaning and groaning. What's your solutions now? And I like that's just like how I'm, I guess, how I
program.
compartmentalize. Yeah, pretty much. They're just like, all right, this sucks. All right, what is my solutions? How can I fix this? And I think that's also sometimes where I kind of lack a little bit with the spectrum of emotional connection. Cause like where my wife's like, hey, I just want you to be emotionally present. And then I'm just like, oh, your problem. I'm gonna solve it. And then I had to like learn and unlearn and relearn. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here with you. I hear you. Instead of like, oh, you telling me your problem, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to fix it. And that's the part where I'm just like, all right, because we're so solution based. And obviously that's, I would say, not to generalize, but I would say the average guy is like usually solution based because they're just like, all right, I see a problem, I'm gonna fix it. That's just like
I don't think
my
we
partake. What do you
I don't
think?
think we realize how great we have it. I said I don't think we realize how great we have it. I'm pretty sure, speaking for me, I'm pretty sure I can speak for you as well. The support system we
Mm-hmm.
have with our
Uh-huh.
significant others, obviously.
Yes.
So it may be easier for us to speak of our emotions and open up about it compared to someone else who feels like they can't trust or how their other would take it.
I could see that.
I had
I could
a
see that.
I had an episode a few days ago, very personal. Kind of don't want to get into it now. It's gonna make me very emotional. I'm glad I opened up about it to my fiance. I actually opened up to it to my mother as well, and it feels good. It took a lot of weight off of my shoulders and clear mind now moving forward, and it makes it easier on myself. Not, it makes it
Mm.
easier on myself knowing that I'm not dealing with it anymore alone.
Wow. Not to dive into the personal aspects of it. I just want to dive more into the mental clarity of like how you felt like relieving
Mm.
that boulder, that burden on your shoulders, right? Because I obviously were just like, where you're taking or internalizing a lot of things where you feel like you're being misunderstood, like no one really sees what you're dealing with, but you have to deal with everyone else's emotions and taking in their problems and then making sure, oh, like you're not seeing my POV, but then just like I see it. You're telling me I don't, but I see it. But hey, you know what? That's a matter of your perspective.
Yeah.
How when you was able to express, did you felt weak at that moment, or you felt like I am stronger than this situation?
I felt weak leading into it, and then
Mm,
obviously releasing the information, I felt stronger. I felt like
okay.
why there was no need for me to hold in the way I was feeling and what I was going through alone,
Mm,
knowing that I had the support around me that was going to back me up regardless. I think I was just more afraid of how the information would have been taken or how the feedback I would have got back after. I think I was more afraid of that than anything else.
mm. Was it
It was
difficult?
hard to let out. It was hard, bro. I
Mm.
got very
Did
emotional and yeah, it was tough.
How would you want your children to perceive an individual like you or find someone in similar mental frame as you? Would you want them to have the wisdom that you have, or you will want them to, all right, this is their purpose, this is your role? How would you be a benefit to this situation?
That's a tough question to answer.
Yeah, because of course, like protecting the sanctity and safety of our children, not trying to, oh, this is what we have, this is what they age and all that stuff. Just wanted to make it more of a, this is an ambiguous statement, but it's more of a direction here. Like, would you want them to have some of that mental clarity?
Yes, we have to set an example, and if we don't, they're gonna go after what they see. They're gonna want
Mm,
what they think is normal because
mm.
that's what they've been seeing their whole life growing up. So yes, to answer your question, yeah, it's
Okay,
best.
no, I'm just,
I feel
mhm.
like they know what's going on
Yeah.
than just being surprised by it later on.
That's fair. That's fair. I think in aspects on my end, like being a present father and an active individual, and I guess breaking barriers, because that was also a mental strain on my end, mental and emotional strain, because I'm the first of my family, first to do this, first to like first to do that, like first of all, a lot of things that broke generational curses on both sides of my family, and became something more apparent. Like I became more aware of my traumas in my childhood. Like where I do promote therapy for men. Like therapy is very essential and important.
Perfect timing.
Give me 2 minutes.
You're good.
God, I gotta edit and cut all that out. Yes, I promote therapy for men, but not just only that, to be solution based as well. Like, okay, I'm doing therapy, I'm going to the gym, I'm eating right, I'm practicing my faith, and hopefully, like whatever faith that individual believes in. For me, I believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, so I just make sure like, hey, I'm just gonna adhere to that. Still practicing the faith, just still trying to work things out in there. But now trying to be a better individual, a better husband, a better father, a better brother, a better son, and overall just trying to be a decent person. And I think that's also important for men. I believe. I just think like, hey, you need a healthy outlet. You need a band of brothers to hold you accountable. You need people to uplift you. You let them know like, hey, you're doing a good job. You are doing the good job to the best of your ability. And sometimes where you feel like, I could do more, then you do more. And if you feel like, hey, I need to pull back and just really be present, then be present. I think it's just a sacrificial balance. Like you either got to sacrifice one thing to balance life, or you got to sacrifice another to balance health. So like either one or the other. You can't pour too much into one thing because then you end up losing yourself into that item. That's just my initial thoughts, for real. Damn, that we got deep at the end. I like that, son. Man, man, bro. Thank you for entertaining on another luxurious episode.
Wait,
We talked about
pause
the
though.
NFL.
Pause.
What do you mean? Pause what? Why gotta pause?
We got deep. We got deep at the end. It's crazy.
Ain't no pause. Play. There ain't no pause. You know what?
Wait,
What? I gotta say no Diddy. All Diddy. He free.
You remember?
What's up?
Crying. You remember the last podcast?
Yes, of course.
I gotta show you something.
Show me.
You ready?
Maybe. I don't know. Get out of my face.
Hold on.
I got too loud.
Hold on. Ready?
No. Okay. You niggas.
Pretty
Y'all
right?
on my hit list. My brother. All y'all. JJ. Y'all all on my hit list. I hate all of y'all. God. Kobe number one. I don't care. Kobe over everybody. Rest in power. But Jesus. That got me tight. That actually got me tight. You got me tight.
I had to because the last video that was the icing on the cake.
Okay, so is this gonna be a thing? You're just gonna pop up sneakers in front of my
Yeah,
face?
this gonna be a thing.
Okay. I gotta be
Kobe
mentally prepared. Every video. Okay, you know what?
Kobe every
I'll jack
video.
that. I'll jack it. I'll dance to that tone. You know what? But then again, Harry, thank you for joining another good episode. We talked about NFL, we talked about NBA, talked about fashion, we talked about, situations of the world and men's mental health. Is there any final thoughts or statements that you want to lay out before we conclude this episode?
Go Steelers.
Okay, go Pack Go. Not signing that trademark. But besides that, next episode, stay tuned, stay blessed. Harry, Steve, this is Not For Nothing podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless.
All right, brother.